think all the mods that I've put on, I think they'll work well together, and I think I could possibly get this car to about 450 or possibly even 460 to the wheels, naturally aspirated, which puts the car roughly around 550 crank. So I'd be pretty happy with that. We also put this is the Boss 302 strut tower brace. Now the car came from the factory with a strut tower brace, but obviously with the stock manifold it was flatter. When I wanted to do the intake manifold, if you go on American Muscle's site, it says absolutely not, that this strut tower brace will not work with the Cobra Jet intake manifold. It's meant specifically for the Boss 302 manifold. I went online and read a few things, and there were people who were using this and said absolutely no problem. We put a couple of spacers in just to give it. When we put it on, it cleared it cleared the manifold, but I didn't know, with torquing the motor with it twisting, I didn't know if it would maybe bump. So we put a couple of washers on as spacers, and then we used a piece of body clay and placed it right here and shut the hood, and there was still probably about 1/4 of an inch of room. So if you have a 13 or 14, and this is just a stock hood, okay? So this is not a cowl hood or ram air style hood where it would be raised up any more than stock. It's the hood that came from the factory, and I am here to tell you that if you have a Cobra Jet intake manifold and you're looking to put a strut tower brace on, just 2 washers and torque it down, and this thing does not hit. There's no vibration at all. There's plenty of room between the tower and the top of the intake manifold, and there's plenty of room between the strut tower and the hood. So no issues at all with that hitting. I don't know why American Muscle tells you that it absolutely won't fit. I guess they're just trying to cover themselves there. But I'm telling you, not an issue at all. So, and the car is running great. I got a little sidetracked before. I did want to say that the Ghost Cam tune is not working. We are going to try to data log and see if we can get them, see if we can get Bama to get a tune. Again, I went to the internet, and some people are saying that you can't run a cam tune with the Cobra Jet. That was an older post. I couldn't find anything that was, relative, that was newer or more up to date. And so, if anyone out there knows if you can run, a Ghost Cam, what happens is the car runs, and as soon as it gets up to temperature, when the Ghost Cam kicks in, it runs briefly and then stalls. So we can't get it to stay running with the cam tune. So Bama asked us to data log and see. I personally think it's getting too much fuel. The Ghost Cam works with the variable valve timing with the computer, and I think it's getting too much fuel at idle. Once you tap the gas, obviously the Ghost Cam tune goes away and it goes into the race tune. But at idle with that cam tune, it just stalls out. So my guess is it's flooding out. Too much fuel, not enough air. So I guess American Muscle wants us to data log it and see if possibly they can lean it out without leaning it too far and ruining the motor. So I'm fine with that. I'm just running the 93 race tune. And it really is, this thing is pulling extremely well, especially in the higher RPMs now. It's just an absolute blast, and with that suspension, I highly recommend The BMR parts and the Eibach parts went on without a hitch, and they look great. You know, I know they're underneath the car, you can't really see them, but when I had them up in the air, you know, it's just a little thing. So, but you know, the red, I have a little bit of red, the red lettering on the tires and the red pinstripe, and so you know, even little stupid things like the red dot on the 5.0. So I just thought the red suspension parts underneath would look neat, and it really tightened the car up. Got the adjustable front and rear sway bars, and just set them kind of neutral. They're in the middle setting. So if you've ever seen them before, they have, you know, three holes drilled out on each side, and we just went with the middle setting. That's the most neutral setting. But just the larger diameter in the front and rear, along with the box style BMR rear lower control arms, they're greasable too. The BMR have greasable fittings. New end links came with the Eibach rear sway bar. I may replace the end links in the front maybe this summer. And the Panhard bar is a single adjustable, just to bring the rear end back in line to make sure that the rear axle was centered, because and I do believe that it brought it back in, you know, the proper amount, so that the tires are kind of sitting, you know, evenly, so that the rear is centered. So all in all, very happy with all the purchases. I think we may do the rear deck lid panel, the RTR, and get rid of the GT full gas cap there. I do have a crack in my license plate surround, so the car was hit before I got it, and they never replaced this part right here. So we're going to do an RTR license plate surround, where this area here is kind of, we're going to have to cut that out, and there's an insert essentially on both sides of the license plate surround. So I'll try and get video of that. Again, I do apologize for not getting actual install videos. You know, I have full intentions of doing that when I get it to the garage, and basically I just don't have anyone there to hold the camera, and I like to get my hands, you know, a little bit dirty. So I always have, you know, intentions on doing it, but I don't want someone else to do all the work. You know, I like to get in there and try and help out. So, you know, more often than not, what ends up happening is I get, you know, before and after shots. But I've always said, you know, if anyone has a question, they can always, you know, ask me, and I'll, you know, as far as the installs go, and I'll tell you, you know, because I'm there and I'm watching or doing the install, I can be pretty helpful with, you know, at least what I think is you know, the difficulty level, or tools that you might need, or, you know, procedures as far as what you might do first and then second. Car is just awesome. You know, some of the other mods I have planned for the future are probably going to be a Vortec tuner kit, and possibly an air ride, which, you know, again, I would, you know, people have thoughts on air ride. I would love to hear them. The air ride just looks incredibly cool. You know, it kind of goes with the theme of what I want to do with the car. Some people are pro, and some people are totally against it. But I always like to hear from you guys, if you could tell me, you know, some pros and cons to the air ride. If you have it, you know, if you know someone who has it. Obviously, when you're watching, you know, advertisements or whatever, you don't always get, you know, the consumer's point of view. You get the retailer's point of view. So they're going to talk it up. But I just want to know if there's anything, you know, really, really negative about having air ride. I'd love to know. But I really, really would like to put it on, you know, in a decent system too. Not, you know, some people put crappy air ride systems on their car, and that may be why they have problems, leaks or whatnot, or just horrible ride or whatever the issue may be. But I'm looking at either a RideTech or an air ride, airlift, whatever the name of that company is, system. So around a $4,000 system. But that's about it. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm sorry for the crappy video. Again, in the garage, I feel like the only time I have time, it's crappy outside. I do work about 60-70 hours a week, so a lot of the nice days I'm stuck inside a building. So there she is. All right, guys. Thanks for your time.